Hi everyone, it's Dale Stiles back for our week 3 video discussion. This week we're discussing the question, is the anonymous internet a good thing, or has it brought out the worst in people? Well, this is kind of a tough one. Most of you know that I'm pretty critical of the garbage I feel like I have to wade through online, and I wish it weren't there. I do. However, if we restrict free speech, we're going against the Constitution. So is there a way to bring us back to something close to face-to-face communication? Maybe. First, I completely agree with what Professor Chapman wrote about the comment sections on articles at news sites, as well as social media being full of disturbing, malicious, and bitter criticism. Just last week, a biker went down on the highway about 5 miles from my house. There were 2 cars and 1 Harley-Davidson motorcycle. The news station posted information about it, but not much, Many of us local bikers were trying to figure out who the rider was so we could find out if the family was okay and offer the family assistance if required. Why? Because bikers stick together no matter what. Others were going back and forth about whether the rider had a helmet on or not, was riding responsibly or not, and blaming the rider for the accident, even though no evidence suggested anyone was at fault. The picture showed a bike exactly like mine, with one of the cars having front end damage sitting just behind the bike. And then, of course, the bike was in pieces. Stuff was everywhere. From that picture, I'm assuming that the car rear-ended the bike. However, I can't make any judgments as to why that occurred. There's a lot of possibilities. And many others were trying to prove their favorite scenario, even though there wasn't any evidence to prove anything other than that one piece of information. The car and the bike ended up together. That we can assume. What we can't assume is, was there a car in front of the bike? Did the car stop? Did a car merge into where the bike is and collide with that? Then the bike... Then the car collided with the bike? I don't know. Did something happen in front of the bike? The bike braked, hard? Bikes can brake harder than cars. Then the car hit it, then another car behind that. I don't know. We can't see the third vehicle. The car, the other car is missing from all of the pictures. We see the motorcycle just spread out all over the highway. And that's about it. So we went from, whose fault was it, to, helmets, motorcycle safety training, and then suddenly everything was hate-filled comments about politics. I quit reading. I'm like, what's the point? The conversation is no longer about the accident at all. It's gone. I have no idea how the conversation made that transition, and honestly, I don't want to know. It just happens, So can we really blame the freedom of the anonymous web? I'm going to say no. It's not the web. However, Facebook has used logarithms that have forced like-minded people to see more of each other's posts, and that has a lot to do with how we have become emboldened in our points of view. We can literally say that everyone we know thinks just like us. And if you don't, you must be crazy, stupid, or worse. We truly need to get out more, spend time with people who are different from us, and try to understand each other again. Most of us are nice people. We're just stuck having the same conversations with the same people, and we've lost contact with folks that can enlighten us to a broader society. No, the anonymous internet is not a good thing on the whole. However, many acclaimed authors have written under pseudonyms with great success, and while it may have ruffled a few feathers, it didn't hurt us overall. So, it's not a good thing, but it's not a bad thing, unless someone just wants to be nasty. Our best course of action is to ignore them, so they lose their voice and choose to do something else with their time. That's the balance that we have to reach. Silence the rottenness of others by ignoring them. Easy, right? I wish. It seems like resisting the urge to set them straight is really powerful. Lastly, I really appreciate the offer to pray over prayer requests. The world does not belong to us. We are not of this world. We're only passing through, and sometimes it can feel a little lonely with all the hostilities going on. I think we should always be praying for each other as often as possible. So I want to thank you for extending the offer to the class, Professor Chapman. I'll see y'all in the comments.